you giving patient different treatment recommendations, different therapy recommendations based on the insurance company. That's called fraud. It's very easy to look at your records and show that. And who the person who will actually make that decision is an eighth grade educated jury. So you just have to look at your statistics and go, does it look like I'm overwhelmingly charging more, doing more therapies, doing more treatment recommendations for the person we do? Okay, so I don't recommend any of that. I recommend you treat everybody the same based on the science of the three phases of healing. Everybody gets their inflammatory care. Everybody gets the repair care. Everybody gets the remodel care. The only difference, now the only exception to this is Medicare. Medicare just has their own rules. They want you to charge what they want to charge, and that's that. Outside of that, I recommend whether it's cash or major medical, person that you educate them the same, you treat them the same, everything's based on the same, or you are going to get in trouble. It's not if, you will eventually get in trouble. Remember, every time you bill something, it's on record. It's on record.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to pull up your record. Okay. And that's a big problem with fraud with chiropractors. You know this as well as I do. They'll take a personal injury patient and see him at a higher frequency. They'll take a personal injury patient and they'll do more therapies than say a major medical or a cash patient. You know this as well as I do. This is insider fraud information. We know this is going on. This is very common.
Yep.
It's fraud. That's what it is. That's basing care on an insurance company, not the patient's health.
Yep.
So there's many types of fraud. I list about 15 types of fraud. Most chiropractors are doing 2 or 3 types of fraud and they don't even know it. That's one of them right there. So you'll see a treatment frequency difference. That's fraud. You'll see a therapy difference. That's fraud. Then you'll see a price difference. That's fraud. All of those are fraud. So that's why I say you treat everybody the same with the exception of Medicare. Medicare is its own rules, period. And then, but they're even based on the science of the three phases of healing. But let's leave Medicare out for a second. So what you do is everybody gets the same treatment, same patient education, same systems based on the science of the three phases of healing. And then how do you make this affordable for the cash patient or the major medical person? Because that bill can be significantly more expensive. Okay, you have 2 options. Now, I just told you the first set of options and they're fraud. Now I'm going to tell you how to do it where it's not fraud. And you can make it affordable. You either charge by what's called a cash discount. So you can give somebody a cash discount, or you can give them what's called a hardship discount. A cash discount is limited. It has to be somewhere around what your fees would be, your administrative fees would be that you no longer incur because it's cash. So it's if they were really to do a microscope, let's look at your fees. And this went into court. And they'd pull in your overhead. And they would compare your fees for how much you're given a discount. And let's say so it has to be within the legitimate fees that you would endeavor. As an example, you can't give somebody a cash discount. Let's say that your administrative fees are 12%. And then you end up giving somebody 50% cash discount.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's that going to look in front of an 8th grade educated jury? What's going to be wrong? So it has to be within a close reference of what your true administrative fees would be. Okay, so that creates a limiting factor also. And they have to pay at the time of the visit. So that's a big problem also. You don't want people paying per visit. That's very, very negative. Now, the other option is it's called a hardship discount. What is required for there to be a hardship discount? There's no requirements. It's your perception. Do you think that the patient would not be able to afford care if you did not give them a discount? And there is no regulation on how much of a discount that you give. You can give one person a 20% discount. You can give another person a 50% discount. Okay. And because the goal of the doctor is to treat patients, that's the goal of the doctors, that the patients can get care. That's the goal. So that's why I recommend, and you can do payment schedules with hardship discounts. You cannot with cash discounts. They have to pay cash at the time of the visit. Well, you could do treatment plans and like biweekly payments with hardship discounts. They don't have to show anything. It's the doctor's perception. They don't have to show you their tax statements. They don't have to show you their income. They don't have to show you their net assets. They don't have to ask for it. Your perception that they would not have been able to, whether you thought it, whether you see it, whether they say it, whatever. And there's no criteria. There's no financial criteria. Are we clear on this?
Yeah.
Because these are big, this information is wrong. There's a lot of bad information going around about this.
Yeah.
So that's why I recommend treating everybody the same, and then just give the cash patients or the worker or the person or the major medical patients a hardship discount. That's all. So they sign off for the discount and whatever the payment plan is, and you're good to go. They can afford care. You can give them the discount, but now your care is not based on fraud.
Yeah. Okay. And I got to figure out how to report that then. I mean, you would just, I don't know. I guess
how to report what?
Well, the hardship or I mean, where do you report that in the note?
It's a sheet of paper. I'll email it.
Okay.
Email. It just says at the top hardship discount. Well, I'll just email it to you right now. Okay, I'm going to read it right now. Basically at the top, it says financial hardship policy, chiropractic clinic. So just put your name up there. And it says purpose. There's 3 bullet points. 1, recognize the goal of the physician is to provide necessary medical care. Number 2, bullet point. Recognize on occasions patients' insurance or financial status limits their ability to pay for necessary medical care. Bullet point number 3. Recognize on occasion the need for the physician to modify the fee schedule to assist the patient and make the care affordable. Policy. First bullet. The goal is to provide the necessary medical care at a discount if necessary. Second bullet point. And acknowledge third-party payers, co-payments, deductibles, and or other owed amounts that are the patient's responsibility under the rules of the Medicare, Medicaid, or any other governmental or commercial third-party payer may not be waived, except on a case-by-case basis upon a determination of implied or statement of financial need. Patient's acknowledgement. I acknowledge that without the financial hardship policy, I will not be able to obtain the necessary health care. So when you have laid out the plan for the patient, what the payments are going to be, and the biweekly payments for the prepays, they sign this, and then they get another sheet of paper to sign that basically says, here's the total cost, here's the discount, here's the payments that you make, here's the automated payments that we can bill biweekly to this credit card. That's it. This is what makes it legal.